Alright, thanks for clicking on the video. This is Gulpain, just back with another quick PSP review and another RPG on the PSP that I'm delighted with actually. This is called White Knight Chronicles Origins. So this is a prequel to the 2008 White Knight Chronicles for the PS3. This one was released in Japan and the EU, but it wasn't released in North America, so it is in English and all that. No need for a patch or anything on this one. Yeah, it's developed by Japan Studios, Matrix Software, and then published by Sony. So I was surprised to see this actually, because I thought it was I just thought it was one of those like really bad, because you see a few of them on the PSP, those like RPGs where it's kind of like Baldur's Gate or something like that, and they're just awful. Like, they're not very good at all anyway. That I like. One of those ones, not the Western RPGs like I can't remember the name of them now, but there's a few on the PSP that aren't very good, but this one is actually surprising. I thought this was one of the bad ones, but it's actually surprisingly good. The PSP RPGs continue to kind of like astound me, or continues to surprise me with how good they are. So for example, like Dragonair's Aria, Blade Dancer, Lineage of Light was another one that I thought was quite bad when I played it first, and then I was pleasantly surprised at how good it was. Another one here then. So I looked at it first and I was like, oh, this isn't going to be very good. And no, it's actually quite good. It's 10,000 years or some sort of extended amount of time before the PS3 game. So it's obviously not going to have the characters of the original game. Well, I suppose this is the Origins game, so it's before it. But yeah, it's you're in like a war and you're part of like an army, and you have to basically like just do a load of kind of RPG things. But yeah, it's kind of like a mix between like swords and shields, but also like, you know, machinery and stuff. So it's not like a kind of a dragon, you know, kind of, I don't know how to describe it, like a Dragon Age one where there's no machinery, or also it's not like a kind of Fantasy Star where there's loads of machinery. It's sort of in a mix between the two of them. But yeah, the graphics in it are quite nice. That specific style of graphic where it just looks like everyone, all the developers were sort of like, basically like they were working from the same sort of pack, or I don't know how you describe it, but they're very, very similar to RPGs on the PSP. They have that distinctive style. Some of them do anyway, not all of them obviously, but there is like a distinctive PSP RPG style. It has like the sort of PS2 graphics, not quite, you know, like superior to PS1 but nowhere near PS3. So it's this sort of like kind of PS2 style graphics, and this game is it's very similar to, I don't want to say Final Fantasy 12, but kind of the way you do the battles. You just kind of run into the characters, but there's nothing coming out of your head into the enemies, which Final Fantasy 12 did. I didn't like that at all. Yeah, this one, it's kind of like a dungeon crawler style, but it's more JRPG than dungeon crawler, I have to say. So it is an action RPG. So it's not a turn-based RPG, although the way you do the battles is quite strange, because you go up to the enemies and then it doesn't like stop and put you into a different area. Like a lot of the JRPGs, you go to the enemy and then it stops and then it puts you into a different area, you know, and it's like a 3D area or a 2D area, whatever it is, and then you do your commands menu based. This one you attack the enemies in the kind of the real world, or in the map that you're on, or the dungeon that you're on, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, there is a kind of like, you can switch between the characters as well, which is pretty good. And there is all like different magic, and there's all different weapons you can get. The inventory system is quite complicated, but you get used to it after a while. And then what I really like about this game then is you can turn into like, it's like Power Rangers or something, or I don't know, it's something weird. Like, it's very Japanese the way to do it, but you can turn into like stronger versions of your own character, sort of like in Breath of Fire, where you can like, you know, turn into you know, like Ryu can turn into different dragons and stuff, or I don't know, in Final Fantasy 7 where Vincent can turn into like different monsters. But this one, the whole team seems to like turn into like different like versions of themselves, and they seem to be like a lot stronger, and you have like different attacks and all that as well. But you can develop that into kind of into different, I don't know what you call it, modes as well. But yeah, once you do it, and you can do it really early as well. It's not like a skill that you have to, you know, purchase after a while, or you have to like level up for ages in order to get this like really cool sort of a sort of thing. Yeah, so this RPG, another kind of RPG that surprised me on the PSP. I have to say that I'm misjudging these PSP RPGs as because a lot of them look really cheap, and I think they're just trying new things because I'm just not used to games ever since like the PS2, you know, sort of PS1 sort of left and into PS3 and PS4. The developers, they don't try new games or they don't try new things with games a lot of times, or if they do, they're sort of unsuccessful and they never do it again. But in the PS2 era, there was a lot of like, you know, kind of developers kind of trying new things and kind of see what worked. Whereas now I think a lot of the games, they're just like, they're a specific formula, and I don't know, they don't sort of like, you know, they don't try new things as much. Anyway, that is White Knight Chronicles Origins. If you played it, let me know in the comment section below, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you next video. Adios.